predictably, it was always going to be hard and fast and tough at each other, and perhaps low scoring. We got that.
Mumford to do the ruck work for the Sydney Swans against Jacobs. Well, maybe it was Jacobs that won it down. Thompson got the kick away. Interesting that Adam Goods started that centre bounce on the wing opposed to Van Berlo. Thompson involved early and again. Unloaded as he kicked, nothing untoward, and going back and taking a good mark. They're never easy. Alex Johnson.
Right on cue there. Scott Thompson getting the first clearance of the quarter.
So Johnson out wide. Hanbury marks and he looks upfield, and McGlynn is running hard for him. Doughty behind. Now will the footy sit? He's got Kennedy in support. It was going to be a tough one to get it over there, so he went down the line, and Riley read it so well off the boot. That
would have been a better outcome. Dan Henry's kick was really ordinary, which made McGlynn have to work overtime onto his non-preferred side.
Riley then off half-back. He goes in the Sloane direction. He got high. No mark. McGlynn again on the ground. He handballs to O'Keefe around Van Berlo. Running hard now through the middle of the ground. That was good work by Hanbury. And Bolton's played on. Not the best bet, and they got him. No, they didn't. Gee, that was a tough call on Douglas.
It had to be around the neck, sure. It couldn't be anything else.
He's called that from the back. It's not a good decision.
Maybe the tackle slipped high late. Gee, that was a tough one. And the mark has been taken by Riley, so they can set up again from the back pocket. Sydney leading by 5 points, second term early going.
Oh, Mike. So Riley to Rutten, and then the short ball is good to Jacobs, who's had a stellar season. He was the man that Mick pointed out before the game started. Had to have a huge afternoon against Mumford and Pike. He works it forward, and then LRT doing the defensive role this afternoon in the absence of Heath Grundy. He's played a variety of roles for the Swans over the years, and he's played them all so well. Here's the push in the back. It was sort of
in the side, totally in the side.
Yeah. On the outer side, the Swans just hacked the ball forward again. Rutten against Pike, and then McKay just knocks it down. Rutten, he gets ridden into the ground. This time it's Morton doing the tackling. Thompson was missed. Shaw was found. Now to Vince, back to Shaw. He'll go into that left boot if he gets a chance. It'll handball over the top. Intercepted. Here's a chance for the Swans. Clever over the top. McVeigh. McGlynn won't miss. Runs into a goal, and the Swans lead it by 11. Well, Tommy, you can't afford to have your kick or handball miss.
No, you can't. The game's been played at a really high tempo, Hamish, and when that's the case, there's so much pressure on the disposal, and if at the opposition all the time, you can obviously try to force a turnover from the opponent. That's exactly what happened then, and missed the target, turnover goal.
Yeah, Adelaide got full control of the ball. Their players move off them. There's a turnover. Adelaide then drop off their opponents. In this case, there was 3 Sydney players all could have had a piece of the action. McGlynn finishes off.
Sydney by 11 points, then the biggest lead of the game. O'Keefe had it momentarily. Vince did well out to Dangerfield, tackled by Reid from behind. It's a bouncing ball now, tough one for Johnson. He gave it off to Hanbury. Matner controlled that well. Handball out to Richards. A grubbery kick towards defensive 50. Dangerfield taken high.
Poor skills under pressure at the moment. Both left footers and both right footers, left foots have gone ordinary, which puts their Swan teammate under pressure, and this is a consequence now.
Dangerfield plays on quickly, and Bernie Vince back in the team is marked just outside the 50.
The windsock, Basil, if you have a look at it, it's just going straight across the ground, but every now and again it goes from right to left, so it will aid Adelaide, I would suspect.
Bernie Vince turns 27 next month, 105 games for the Adelaide Crows. Back in the team after being out with injury, sends it long and strong. It's just offline. Behind only, it's back to 11 points. Make it 10 points in favour of the Swans.
And that's that windsock we're talking about across the ground. If he's going to miss at a long distance, he's going to miss to the right-hand side at the Adelaide end.
Need some scoreboard impact for their effort soon, the Crows. That's 15 inside 50s for 1 goal for.
Well, the Swans looking decidedly comfortable in the Crows' nest so far this afternoon. They work it to the wing, and suddenly Jeddah He's got a heap of space. Does he have the pace? The 232s. Dangerfield. He tries to close. Jetta from 52. A long ball. It's offline. All about the bounce now for Morton. It escapes him.
Huge effort on the chase there by Paddy Dangerfield. Slow to get up because he put so much into it. You love to see this from your offensive players. We know that Paddy Dangerfield can do exactly what Jetta's doing, but that chase just enough to put the kick off.
Dangerfield just electric. Jetta, we thought, had enough space just to continue to cruise on. Dangerfield just desperately got a fingertip, and as Tommy said, forced the issue. Jetta offline. 10 points the lead to the Swans early going. The first team to keep the Crows to less than 3 goals in a first term this year.
Mike Pike, second man up. Well done down in front by Sloan. He boots the ball towards half-back with Richards in the road. And it's going to come back in again. Sydney have got control of the game just for the moment. They were forced wide and back, so that won't be too concerning for Sanderson, the coach of the Adelaide Crows. Eventually Smith's kick back again for Alex Johnson. I'll get a chance to set it up again through the middle of the ground, and McGlynn.
Well, slow play, Baz, so Sydney controlling tempo, but Adelaide also get an opportunity to set up, and that shouldn't happen.
What about that? McVeigh's kicked the lead on from Reid. So much space to lead into, and he just marked it on his chest.
Well, that might be the case. It's interesting. The spy camera I've got on Reid and Talia, and there were so many bits and pieces put together there, cutting across and blocking. Reid found that space because of those blocks.
So Reid on the runway. He's kicked 29 goals this season. Kick is on its way, and he's got another one for the Swans. That's their 4th. They lead it by 16 points. Well, so much space, and we complimented the Adelaide Crows and said that despite not having possession of the footy, Brett Sanderson may have been reasonably happy that they got back and pushed back, but then it broke down badly. Sydney 4-2, Adelaide 1-4. Biggest lead of the game, Sydney's way.
Well, here's the build-up. It was a slow play. McVeigh went fast in there and had that whole side of the ground to work in, Sam Reid. The Crows should have been aware, given it was a slow play in the build-up, and should have filled that space.
So the Swans have kicked the last 3 goals of the afternoon, and right now they've got the answers. Teddy Richards, 11 seasons, this his best. Nominated in the All-Australian squad during week. Pike just knocks it down. Sloan, the give good to Douglas, now to Thompson. He got run into by Mumford and grabbed by O'Keefe. He kept hold of the football, and the umpire's pinged him.
Gang tackle, and all correct.
Well, they've been ferocious this afternoon, the Swans. Their form on paper, not so good. 3 losses and a win from the last month, but consider who they've lost to. Pies, Cats and Hawks. The Crows just struggling to get hands onto it on the outer side. Quickly Bird on the left, bounces it to half forward, cruising through Morton. First final, the give good. Hanbury over the top, well weighted. The slap in the middle. It finds some space. A chance for Shaw. Little knock forward, ends up with Bolton. Thompson desperate, and now Callanan cruises through to Douglas off a step, long ball. Walker, Richards front spot, knocks it down. Shaw, little give, works out okay. O'Keefe to Richards, and over the top again. Shaw will run at the football. He's got Johnson, keeps it in. Now just pummels the ball forward to be cut off, and Thompson can hurt on the rebound.
Might have been better to let the ball go out there for the Sydney Swans. Down in the John Cock direction, reaching over. Well done, McVeigh. Back to Bolton, clearing handball again for Richards, who's been superb in the first half so far, and now Shaw with the footy in his hands.
One player that is finding space out there is Dan Hanbury. He's up to 15 possessions. 13 of those are uncontested.
Dangerous kick for Jetta. Gee, there's some confidence in a kick like that. And they take off again through Shaw. Handball, okay. It was into the arms of Nick Smith. Back to Shaw, back to Bolton. Defensive 50 in game number 299. Drives it out wide. Hanbury, the ball bounces his way. Van Berlo behind. How's the tackle? Okay, says the umpire. It'll be thrown in.
And to acknowledge the ball-winning efforts of Dan Hanbury, it looks like the skipper Van Berlo's gone to him. Initially at the start of the game, it was Sloane and Hanbury in a one-on-one matchup.
Swans by 16 points. Kennedy just got his boot to ball into Hanbury's face, actually. Gathered now by Goods. Excellent kick, and Morton in front has marked 45 metres out directly in front. He's a wonderful kick at goal. Better closer to goal, believe it or not, on the snap, but he can get the distance from here.
Kicked 79 goals in the Sydney Swans reserves in the NEAFL Eastern Conference this year, so he's got goal-kicking form.
Played 12 games for West Coast, 59 for Richmond. This is just his third game for the Sydney Swans, his first final, and he delivers. Boom! Sydney out to a 22-point lead, and again, the last two Sydney goals coming from breakdowns in the Adelaide defence. Space to work into, Mick, and that won't please Brenton Sanderson.
No, and it's starting to get a little bit ugly now because the contested ball is falling all Sydney's way.
Just really starting to get on top in the total disposals now, plus 30 for the Swans, and great ball use there by Adam Goods. Mitch Morton, as I said, he's been kicking a lot of goals in the Swans reserves, bags of 9 and 10. He's carried that into some pretty good form in the seniors.
It's only early in the bout, but the Crows are on the ropes and need to get off quickly. The Swans have kicked the last 4 goals of the match.
The Crows have had 4 inside 50s this quarter and actually haven't had a disposal inside their forward 50s so far. So one thing to get it in there, second to actually make it count.
It's in again now. Walker's the target. And well done, Lewis Roberts-Thompson. It spills to John Cock. What can he conjure? Not enough.
Swans typically right now will throw all their numbers back at this stoppage. It's very, as I said before, it's very difficult to score from a stoppage around Sydney because they just cover every exit. It'll be very good.
So Pike has the advantage. Taylor took it out of the ruck work, just had his kick smothered. Still in a really dangerous territory for the Swans. They hold it up again. So a 22-point lead after the last 4 goals going the Swans' way. The Crows just able to conjure 1 so far for the afternoon. That was to Taylor Walker.
And Walker won the hit out down that time. Bottom of that pack, fighting for it. It was Petrenko last man up. And the ball will go back to the umpire. Ted Richards, 9 disposals. He's been fantastic this afternoon. Pike down to Vince. Can he get through the traffic? He's had it a long time. Somehow he did get a kick out there. Not the required distance. That might be holding the ball. Well, in the end, Roberts-Thompson fortunately backed back like a truck over the line and a rush behind. And I'm not sure that he heard the call. And in the end, Sydney okay.
So Malcheski to Pike. How difficult, Tommy, to spend most of the season forward like Lewis Roberts-Thompson has done and then be swung back?
It would be difficult, but he knows his role in the side is as a utility play. He played an outstanding grand final across half-back, and I think he's actually played his best footy as an AFL player as a key backman, so he's probably in his natural habitat.
Well, he's playing this afternoon on his birthday, number 29, Riley. Just works it wide. A chance for Smith. Quickly to half-forward. Going back, Paul Pleasure. Malcheski kills it for now.
Adam Goods has just come to the bench, looking really dangerous up through the midfield, pushing hard into defence. Not sure if there's a Kurokan that can go through with him with the midfield and pushing forward.
So just a little quieter, this local crowd for the moment, with the Swans getting on top, particularly in this second stanza. 3 goals to the Swans, none to the Crows so far. A chance here, perhaps. Vince again will send the Crows inside 50. Petrenko lurks around the place, as does John Cock. Walker is the deepest of the Crows. Well, Dangerfield has the ball in his hands. Normally a good user.
Top of the square's the best bet. That's the most open part inside forward 50.
Well, Walker goes back. He has it touched off the boot. McVeigh heard it, gave it off. Kennedy, and now Lewis Roberts-Thompson again. The kick hugs the boundary, and it's another win for the Swans.
Yeah, they won't mind the ball out there all day. That breeze will take the ball across that side of the ground anyway.
Sydney by 21 points. Patrick Dangerfield with his eyes on the footy. Jacobs. Thompson in there. Got his handball away just in time. Kennedy, it spills out the back. Tough one to win here. McGlynn pulled off it by Doughty. Still going, might have been a free kick. Sloan did well. Arrived, gave it to Thompson. Might have been touched. Umpire said no. Big fly at the back. Paul Pleasure on the deck now. Paul Pleasure comes again. That was terrific football. Handball over to McKay. He kicks long down towards the square. Roberts Thompson read it well. Like a veteran defender, the old-fashioned fullback getting back on the line. He marks and gives it to O'Keefe.
They just know how to drop that player off at the right time. They're using their defenders, their defender as a goalkeeper, whereas Adelaide are bringing their player up into play and trying to have the extra number at the stoppage.
Well, Kennedy holds it up for the moment. Dangerfield and Thompson combined. Kennedy just worked his way into the contest. The umpire lets it roll and Dangerfield just mauled to the ground.
Swans have made a double interchange here. Both Goods and Morton come on at the same time. Van Berlo's gone to Goods. It's left Sloan one out with Morton at full back. That's not what the Crows are after.
Well, the pressure epic at the moment from the Swans on these Crows. 9 Crows playing their first final. And it is fast and furious, and the Swans have settled well.
I said there's only extra players at the ball. It's Sloan's now dropped in behind the ball, so he's not the likely add-on at the back, but I suppose he can run the football there if need be.
They travel well, the Swans. They've won 7 from 10 on the road this year in 6 states in 7 different venues. Their wins have come through the home and away season. At Amy this afternoon, they're looking comfortable. The Crows will continue to fight. John Cock now to Sloan, to Callanan. Over the top, Douglas slides it inside to Vince, who arches his back, got it away. Paul Pleasure's got Callanan inside. He sees him now. Callanan, normally a good finisher, quickly on the left. He saw the space. It'll be a bouncing ball for Thompson. Around the corner, again LRT is there. He jumps, and he gets there in the end.
Looking really comfortable across half-back, or full-back even, LRT.
He's like Kevin Spacey. Whatever role you give him, he's very good at it.
He's got a touch of Dustin Fletcher in him at the moment. He just seems to be in the right place at the right time. Knows when to drop off.
Matner then, long kick, clearing kick. It was touched off the boot and out of bounds. It will be thrown in. There's been a lot of touch balls off the boot. I guess what you expect in a finals. Tight, tough game.
Tight game. They bring players together, Baz. That's why we saw 3 smothers in the first 5 minutes, and we're seeing more now. Walker
down in front. He wins that, but Goods was there. Handball over the top was okay to Smith, and now Teddy Richards. It's been fantastic. That's possession number 10. How will the umpire call this one? He says throw it in.
Both umpires were looking at each other to give the free kick away. But really, that fell within Jeddah's 5 metres. So surely they wouldn't even be considering it.
Justin Schmidt was the controlling umpire. He did look towards the umpire inside 50 for the Adelaide Crows, and then eventually he said throw it in. Would have been a tough call, wouldn't it?
No, good decision.
Mind you, we saw one paid last night, and often you look to Friday night football, even in the finals, for direction. And we've got a blood rule, I think.
Yeah, no, it's coming out, mate.
It's coming out.
So O'Keefe.
Well, probably one of the very few contact codes that the sight of blood, the players that come off, it's recognised right throughout the world now in contact codes. It can flow so long as it's not just splattered all over it. So this is a little bit time-consuming and really possibly unnecessary.
So Ryan O'Keefe comes off, and we'll get that attended to, and not a bad replacement with Josh Kennedy coming on. Sydney by 20 points. A tick over 7 minutes remaining in this first half.
Crowd have taken this opportunity break in play to get actively involved. The Crows need that. They need to capitalise on the home ground advantage pretty soon.
Yeah, you get the feeling they do need that. They need to be lifted somehow. Hanbury, it came from Bird. It's kicked towards the wing, bouncing ball. Mike Pike thrown off it. Well done, Morton. He gave it to Goods, and they're away again. And Jeddah is the man for the job. Doughty chasing him. Jeddah gets there first. He throws it onto the boot and kicks a superb goal. How about that? Popped it into the open space, and well, if ever there was a man for the occasion, that was the man to run onto a loose ball inside 50 That was explosive stuff from Lewis Jetta, and Sydney out to a 26-point lead. Exhilarating stuff at Amy.
Thanks, guys. Jump out of the circle.
Well, the slogan for the finals campaign is "This is greatness," and greatness so far is Adam Goodes just getting the ball in, kicked it into space, and you always knew that Lewis Jetta would have had the younger legs, the faster legs than Dowdy. Finished with the goal. Swans right on top here.
Well, O'Keefe still off with the blood rule, and right now the Bloods rule. They lead it by the biggest margin of the afternoon, and that man has had a lot to do with it. Goodes to Jack. Jack now inside 50. Can they press again? The Crows have got the numbers. Talia went to spoil. He's now got to be good at ground level. Morton does the harassing. Took it cleanly. Couldn't give cleanly. Rutten, Shaw. Too high the call.
Kirky said something interesting just before when he said, I don't think Adelaide have got anyone that can run with Adam Goodes. And at the moment, unless they can find someone very quickly, Goodes is best on the ground. He's just setting the play up beautifully as a captain.
So the lanky lefty, Shaw, playing finals football in his first year, just sends the ball to territory where the Crows have the numbers. Thompson goes backwards with the handball, finds Douglas, and he squeezes it through the middle to Dowdy. Now a man with a bit of time and space. Smith gets and goes. Reid does the chasing. Little kick in the middle was terrific. Van Berlo, he runs to 50. They need this, and the captain gives them the goal. Well, it's time for the cliche, Baz. A captain's goal.
That was it, wasn't it? That was it. The boy from West Perth, he delivered, took it, and when he made a couple of errors earlier in the game, so he'll feel good about that. It's back to 20 points. Adelaide 2-6, only their second goal there. Sydney 6-2.
This is a terrific goal. Great setup for a start off, but watch where Van Berlo kicks their football from right on 50. He kicks it over the fence. That's definitely the scoring end. They've got a bit of reward for the number of times they're getting inside the front 50. Terrific goal by Van Berlo.
38 minutes between goals as Wright handballs forward. Here's Van Berlo again, a long one down towards full forward. Richards didn't mark but was infringed. So 38 minutes between goals. Adelaide 2-6, just their second goal then. Sydney 6-2. The Swans have been superb, and Adam Goodes, this man, has absolutely led from the front. Tim Watson down on the boundary. I guess in a normal game, home and away, Tim, you'd say Adelaide will come at some stage, but is that a given in a final like this?
Yeah, look, I definitely think they're very much in this game, even though they trail at this stage. Same number of shots a goal. They've had the ball inside their attacking 50. There's a couple of things that they need to rectify in their game, but there's no doubt in my mind that they're well and truly in this game.
What are the obvious things, Tim, that you see they need to change?
Well, I reckon what they've got to do is they're going to close down on Sydney a little bit more when Sydney have control of the ball. The uncontested possession away in Sydney's favour in this quarter, and they're just overrunning, or they're overlapping with their handball. So once they tighten up in that area, I reckon they're going to be able to control the game.
Dangerfield sent it in the Tippett direction. Quickly, he was tackled and the ball spilled. And again, the Swans have the numbers around the football. O'Keefe just extracts the football and gets held up.
It's just like a swarm, isn't it? And this is part of the swarming. They just don't, all their tackles stick. And they just swarm all over their opponents, and it's so difficult to clear that ball out.
Mumford has Tippett and Jacobs to beat. The Crows win it. Thompson quickly, long, offline.
When you dominate possession, which the Swans are doing at the moment, 165 to 142, but then also dominate the tackle count, 41 to 27. Haven't been able to get the ball inside 450, but they've been really efficient when they're in there. You know you're on top of your game at the moment from John Longmire's perspective.
There's the coaches contrasting emotions. Well, actually, truth be known, pretty similar facial emotions. It's tight and it's tough as Malcheski kicks to himself. He goes with a long one out in the Reid direction. Got to it on the half volley. That was superb. It stayed in momentarily and now out of bounds for a throw-in. Sydney by 19 points. And they'd love back-to-back goals. Mick, Adelaide 2 in a row just to build a bit of pressure and get the crowd right into it.
Well, get some reward for the inside 50s. They're leading comprehensively. That's the only area they are.
Right, Van Berlo, John Cock, outside 50, sends it long, but it's wide. Out of bounds on the full.
And that's where their kicks are coming from. They're getting inside 50. Some are shallow and some are from so far out. That's why Thompson was able to clean up. And that pressure there was an outside 50 kick. Van Berlo put his through, but a little bit more pressure on John Cock.
To Tim's point, he said the Crows will come. I reckon the Swans fans are expecting it. The last 14 finals they've played, 7 have been decided by less than a goal. Walker, brilliant. Dishes it inside. Tippett got held up. Swans brilliant again. This time Nick Smith around the corner. Dowdy let it go. Jetta, he's at the fall of the ball.
The Swans' tackling's been exceptional. Something last week against the Cats, they did let themselves down where players were able to stand up in tackles. Today, they're really sticking to them.
Well, a goal now would be interesting before half-time. 19 points the lead. The Crows in the last few minutes have been pressing. Bouncing ball now. The little give wasn't on. The pressure brilliant from Malcheski. Hanbury, O'Keefe, and now Matner. He's got a bit of space. Goods is over the top. Ignored and longer now to Bolton. Riley will do the chasing. Ugly bounce for Bolton in the end. He took on his man, and McKay was brilliant. Just rode the tackle, sent the ball, and then the fist came from behind. It was brilliant from Smith again. Allowed Matner just to pick up the loose ball. He steps inside and finds his target. This time, it's Jetta.
Kicked the last goal for the Sydney Swans. Lewis Jetta's got the footy just backward of the wing, asked to go by the umpire. He pops it up. And Bolton's got it. Sydney by 19 points out wide. Here's Bird building now the Swans. Goods is on. Brodie Smith with him. Terrific mark by the champ.
Well, they're looking for the matchup to go with Adam Goods. Brodie Smith's a good size. He's a young player. The other option, I think, is Brent Riley, but Kirky touched on it, knows Goodsy better than anyone else. He's got a huge aerobic capacity.
Plays on quickly. It had a bit too much on it for O'Keefe. Sloan at the back to mop up. Brodie Smith clearing kick, and it works out okay to Wright, who can draw the man. Vince is off. He might go back. That's exactly what he does, and Wright's kick towards Sloan in midfield is excellent. Marks in front of Bolton, and now, from having a shot on goal, the Sydney Swans, they're in an ultra-defensive position. Over the top, it comes to Tippett. Lewis Roberts, Thompson bounced too far with a jump. But look at this, Shaw mopping up again. Mick's mentioned a couple of times the way they could just peel the defender off and get him back into the goal square at the crucial point. And again, they've done that. And the clearing kick to Kennedy, superb.
Well, McVeigh just a little fumble. How often have we seen that? Shaw just streaming from fullback for the Swans and bouncing and getting them out of trouble. A brutal first half of football, and we're getting to the close of the second stanza. Right now, Sydney by 19. The Crows have been pressing in the last few minutes, haven't been able to get one through the middle. Dangerfield, he's got Bird to beat. Well, somehow Bolton, amongst all the mayhem, fired it to Jack. His quick kick forward is cut off by Rutten. Over the top right if he wants him. It'd be a perfect kick to find him. Ignored. And now Riley. His kick over the top for Shaw. How will it bounce? Okay, Shaw just runs with the football. That was
dangerous football. That's what that was.
I thought he was going to get pinned.
Anywhere near Adam Goods at the moment, he's running absolutely white hot. So a dangerous kick.
Tick over a minute remaining in this first half. It's been pulsating finals footy. Sydney by 19 points, and Adam Goods again. Front position, experience. The kick came in. Right spot, right time.
Well, young kids playing first finals on a champion like that. I always say the 20 to 30 metre kick is the most dangerous to guard, because if you stand in front, you're done over the back. If you stand behind and some travels less, in this case in the air, and we see Goods with the footy. He's so experienced and so good.
Couldn't help but feel a little for Brodie Smith. That forlorn shake of the head. Adam Goods in his 317th AFL match, kicking for his third goal of the afternoon, and Sydney get one back late in the first half.
There's some fascinating footage there. Brodie Smith's a young player with the job on Adam Goods at the moment. He got caught out in the match-up. Sam Shaw came down to help him out. Just watch them at the bottom of the screen here, talking to each other, saying, no, I've got him, but no one actually committed to him. Adam Goods, that's 317 games worth of experience out doing a couple of youngsters.
He was blocked for one another, didn't they?
Well, they were talking to each other. The intention was right, but just half a second behind.
Shaw and Smith, a very nice wind from the Adelaide Hills. A couple of very nice defenders for the Adelaide Crows, but unlucky there, just caught out.
Very good, Max. It is a nice drop too.
Well, Goods kicks his third for the afternoon. He's done it 3 times in a final, kick 3. And the Swans are out to 25. It's looking ugly for the Crows. Their previous low to half-time, we called the game, it was against the Cats. They scored 28 points at the Cattery. That was in round 18. They worked their way back into the game. You expect them to do again this afternoon. But at half-time, they have just 2 goals, 7 to their name. And the Swans, who have found Adelaide a worrying side in recent times, have got their noses right in front. Scotty Thompson, he's going to need to play a big last half. Let's go down to Brett Kirk. He's with the big ruckman from the Crows.
Sam, the midfield battle's so crucial inside. You feel you've got control of that at the moment?
Well, no, it's sort of hard to get a sort of a gauge because obviously they are so penetrating when they go forward. So it's important that, you know, if we do get the clearance, we get quality when we go forward. Adam Goods is spending some time in the middle. Is that something you planned for? Yeah, we did. You know, he obviously plays a lot forward as well, but he loves to get up the ground. So yeah, we're trying to get on top of that as well. With 25 points down, who's going to be the general in there to start calling the shots, really start driving in the midfield? I think it's everyone. You know, it's the forwards as well, making sure we're locking in their defenders, make sure they're pressing up. So it's going to be a team effort to get back in here. It's not going to take one quarter, it's going to take the whole half. And what's the coach going to be talking about at half-time? Yeah, just the sort of stuff we've been talking about already, just reiterating that this is finals footy. It's going to be tough and it's going to take little personal wins to, you know, to stack up and get the win. Thanks for your time, mate. Cheers, boys.